And I feel like after the pandemic, everything is on, steroids. People are like, what's next? And ChatGPT is now in the conversation, and all I see on LinkedIn is like, well, are these tools going to replace, jobs and so on? So we're transitioning again to a new internet, which for me, it's fascinating. And I think there's going to be a lot of new jobs that are going to be created by that.
I agree. I think LinkedIn is an interesting feed right now. I do feel like it's heavy on the ChatGPT and then heavy on the tech layoffs that are happening and just everything going on. There is a lot of fear right now. People don't feel secure in their roles. And then you layer in new technology. Now everything is just rocking. Like people are feeling unsettled. But I think your educational path, like I wouldn't change any of my educational path either. I think it's about understanding your skill set, being able to self-teach, not being afraid to go out and see what resources are out there, joining the webinars, taking the courses, getting the certifications, taking advantage of the free resources that are out there too, because I know a lot of the certifications can be pricey, but just going out there and learning and exposing yourself to what's going on. And there's going to be more opportunities coming. Like the new technology is going to rock it a little bit, but there's going to be new roles that evolve from this. So you just adapt.
Yeah. I mean, 2005 did, there are jobs like social media strategists.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember how we would hype anything up in 2005? I'm so embarrassed to say this. I mean, we were printing out, this is for the event planning company and for Chegg. Okay,
what kind of phone did you have?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I had the pink razor, flip phone. But I mean, there was no camera on it at that time.
Before smartphones.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know.
The smartest phone was a BlackBerry. Shh.
No, but people were printing out flyers.
Yeah.
Like that's how you did it. And you were tucking it into like
traditional
under car wipers. I mean, for Chegg, we were taking sidewalk chalk and drawing go-to-chegg.com on the sidewalks.
Oh, that's old school.
Yeah. We were just leaving like boxes of t-shirts like in the dorms or boxes of random Frisbees like in a field on campus.
Yeah. Talk about guerrilla marketing.
I know. Yeah. Because with social media, it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I mean, right. So now, right, how many jobs have evolved from mastering social media?
So many. And social media itself is going to be evolving. Like, I'm predicting the next social media is basically the metaverse.
There it is. Flex's prediction.
Yep.
Here we are, March 2023.
Soon. I think people are just taking a little bit of time because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But it's gonna pick up quite a bit. I always pay attention to the younger generation and what the 13-year-olds and the 14-year-olds that are doing.
You have to. Yeah. They are on the cutting edge. They're the ones who now have access to all the technology. They have the time. Remember when we used to have unlimited time in the day?
Yeah.
Right.
So and a lot of these technologies start with gaming,
Yes.
And
there's 5-year-olds that are gaming and coding already and doing graphic design better than I can. Like, it's wild. It's just second nature.
Yeah. So there are humans. They're the future humans with AI.
Yeah.
So, but you came back from Silicon Valley at some point, and at that time, I believe you left Chegg. So you were at Chegg for 5 years, right?
5 or 6 years.
Yeah. And then you're back in Chicago.
Yes.
So what was next?
I took some time off. So I do take time off in between every role I've ever stepped into, and I think that's important to talk about because sometimes people are nervous to take time for self-care and mental wellness and just taking time to reset. I love what I do for work, but sometimes that leads it to be probably more consuming than it should be. So took some time off, a few months, traveled and just hung out with family and friends. And then I joined, I was looking specifically for what startups were around in Chicago. So I was on the hunt for another startup. I ended up joining a late stage startup, SitterCity.com.
Yeah.
And kind of kicked off my Chicago journey at that point, professional journey.
Tell us about Sitter City.
What would you like to know?
Well, first of all, it is a unique platform in itself, right? And then you joined as VP of customer.
Customer experience.
Customer experience, and you also came at a time when Chicago was just kind of like building its, tech scene. So I'm just curious, like, where did Sitter City fit in, to all of that? And for people that have no idea what Sitter City is,
Well, Sitter City was at the time, was a platform that was focused on really the gig economy for caregivers. So whether it was for pet care, child care, or even senior care. So it was interesting. There was a trust and safety component to it. They were a later stage startup, so they had already been live for, I don't want to misquote this, but let's say a handful of years before I joined. But they were still figuring out their processes. Like, they still had hiccups. They were still looking to grow. And at the time, the link between what the customers were saying and that information coming back into the business wasn't there. So there was a huge gap that we were able to resolve and just, bring the voice of the customer back into the business. And as soon as we did that, product and engineering they were able to improve the experience. We made the platform just a safer place for both caregivers and families to be making smart decisions, to protect themselves. I mean, both with any type of online fraud that can happen in these types of marketplaces.
Yeah.
And then also, keeping yourself safe if you are going to apply for a gig that maybe you don't know anything about. Sure. So it was just interesting. It was an interesting problem to solve. And it was anything that involves trust and safety of humans or pets is always like, you don't want to mess up. You want to make sure you're not leaving any stone unturned. So it was a little bit, the customer contacts were a little bit different than, where's my textbook?
Right. So, I mean, these are people's family members and, pets are family members, too. Yep. So super, super important. And then did you move into another role within the company after a while, or did you leave the company and then join another company, or what did you do at the time?
So I stepped into VP of Customer Success. So this is now, Customer Success started becoming kind of a trendy title, or people started to see, okay, this is how we can make customer support more powerful. It's not just about managing contacts and filling seats in a contact center. Like, it's bigger than that.
Or
there's
just
so
responding
much
to inquiries. You're building relationships, right?
You're building relationships.
Your customer,
right. And bringing an understanding back into the business of what's going on. So once you start to make things right, now you're increasing customer satisfaction, customer loyalty. Social media, right, is continuing to pick up now. So now people are talking about
people
this
are holding you
on Facebook
accountable on Facebook.
Yep.
And Twitter and all that. I think it was Jeff Bezos that coined the term customer centricity.
Yep.
Anyways.
You need it. You absolutely need it. Especially, I mean, for all companies, yes, but especially for a subscription service.
Yeah.
You need to stay in touch with your customers. You have to know how they're feeling about the relationship. You have to understand the journey. How long, are you going to have them for? And what do they need to have a great experience? Yeah. And is there an opportunity to extend the journey?
Yeah.
You have to stay in touch with the customers.
I don't think at that time